Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Rose Wrights and I write and narrate Miraculous Ladybug fanfiction. Big shout out to part-time Pixie for letting me use their amazing artwork in my thumbnail. The police officer will be voiced by Cameron. If you're enjoying my stories, don't forget to like and subscribe. Now then, please enjoy Lost in the Memories, Chapter 3. Minutes passed like hours, and the hours like years as Adrien sat in the blindingly white room staring at the clock. How long had it been? Several people came and went, but Adrien stayed sitting, feeling the overhead lights stinging his eyes as they burned from lack of sleep. Marinette's parents sat sleeping in a seat nearby. Alia fidgeted with her phone, shuffling uncomfortably. Marinette needed several different surgeries. One for resetting her ribcage, sutures in numerous locations, and who knows what else. The doctor came into the waiting room, taking off her mask. "Hello, I'm Dr. Cartier. She's just now waking up. Would you like to see her?" Adrien and Alia exchanged glances. "You should go. I want to be here in case Mom and Pop wake up." She gestured to the Dupeng Changs with her head. "I'll see her later, for sure." "Sure. Okay, thanks, Alia." Adrien stood, stretching out his back. He walked behind her doctor down a long ICU corridor that bustled with people trying to save lives. It brought his mind back to the night prior when the doctors didn't know if Marinette would live or die. She had been taken from his arms, or Cat Noir's arms, and he had no knowledge of what was going on, and had heard nothing of her prognosis. "Okay, here we are. Room 132, Marinette Dupeng Chang." Dr. Cartier read her name off a small name tag on the wall. Before walking away, she took a long look at Adrien's weary face. "Sir, she'll be okay. She is in a delicate state right now, and the road to recovery will be long. But she's alive. That's worth celebrating. I'm needed in surgery. I will be checking back in later." As her footsteps fell against the tile floor, Adrien's fake smile faded. She might be okay, but what about her memory? That's something that can't be restored. No amount of medicine or surgery could fix that. Adrien hesitantly opened the door, peeking inside, spying his beautiful girlfriend sleeping soundly. Her chest now rising normally, his smile returned. A small rolling stool sat in the corner of the room, which he quietly pushed to her bedside. He held her cold hand, stroking it, restoring some warmth. The doctor had said she was waking up, but maybe she had fallen back asleep. Good. She probably needed it. He had no concept of the time he spent just sitting with her. He nearly dozed off himself before he heard Marinette stirring. "Marinette, good morning! How are you feeling?" Adrien ran a hand through her hair, adjusting the bandage on the side of her head that had gone crooked from sleeping. Marinette stared at him, her face one of shock. She searched his face, her eyebrows closely knit. Adrien's heart sank. Was she speechless because she had no idea who he was? Or did she even know where she was? Adrien's mouth felt overwhelmingly dry. Even if he wanted to speak, he couldn't. "Hi." She spoke weakly. She took a moment to glance around the room, lightly pulling on a cord attached to her chest. Marinette used her forearms, attempting to push herself up from the hard hospital bed, wincing in pain as she eased herself back down. "Take it easy, Mare." Adrien rested a hand on her shoulder, making Marinette recoil at his chilly touch. He yanked back his hand, unable to hide the disappointment on his face. "You took, quite a fall. You'll be okay, though." He smiled warmly at her, but she didn't return the gesture. "I have always been clumsy," she said in thought, nearly inaudible. "I'm sorry, but who are you?" What he feared wasn't just a nightmare. It was a reality. Marinette didn't remember him. All of the years they spent together. Gone, but why? He was Adrien now, not Cat Noir. Unless, because her memories of him were intertwined with the Miraculous, that now every single memory of him was erased. What about all of her other friends? They're Miraculous holders. Were those memories gone too? "Are you a nurse?" Marinette's question stabbed another wound in his heart, but he smiled through the pain. No, I'm a friend. She stared at him a moment before laughing. Yeah, right. No way I would forget someone as handsome as you. Marinette sounded just like she always did, and it simultaneously made him happy and broke his heart. She was still in there, and if she fell in love with him once, she could do it again, right? Thank you, Marinette. I'm glad you're okay. I'll let you rest. He stood, pulling the sleeves of his hoodie down. Wait, sir, Marinette said, her voice sounding a bit stronger. Sir? The word echoed through his mind, driving him insane. He went from her boyfriend of 5 years to a stranger overnight. How could things possibly get any worse? But as soon as that thought entered his brain, he pushed it away, because surely as soon as he thought things couldn't get worse, they would. Marinette's voice broke him from his spiraling thoughts. Do you know my parents? She asked hesitantly. Yeah, I do. Are they here? Of course, they were really worried. Adrien sat back down in the rolling chair. Alia is too. Would she remember Alia, her best friend? He waited with bated breath as Marinette's eyebrows furrowed in deep confusion. Alia, she repeated. I don't think so. It feels familiar, but no, sorry. Am I supposed to? A sadness crept into her eyes. Adrien couldn't bear to burden her anymore. She needed rest. He had to go as much as it pained him. He stroked her hand gently. Don't worry about it, princess. Get some sleep. He knew she wouldn't remember him or the time they spent together, but nonetheless the nickname spilled from his mouth. Her eyes widened. I didn't ask your name. I'm Adrien. Nice to meet you, Marinette. Adrien walked down the ICU hallway, hands in pockets, eyes fixed on the floor. Thoughts raced through his mind. He felt an overwhelming guilt. Marinette forgot everything because of him. Marinette was in the hospital because of him. He did this to her. It'd be so easy to cast the blame onto Hawkmoth. But in reality, Adrien had been unfocused and slow. Adrien hated himself almost as much as he hated Hawkmoth. Pulling him from his downward spiral, Adrien's pocket vibrated. He took out his phone to stare at the unfamiliar number. Hello, Adrien answered a bit nervously.
Good day. This Mr. Agrest?
A gruff voice spoke on the other end. Yes, well, Adrien Agrest. Adrien clarified.
Good. This is the police. Late last night you called about Hawkmoth. Gabriel Agrest?
Yes, I did. Any news? Adrien's heart leapt into his throat. Was this the news he had been waiting for? Would Hawkmoth, his father, officially be taken care of? Paris could finally sleep peacefully again. However, this feeling of relief didn't last long.
We couldn't find Hawkmoth's son. We looked everywhere. He's gone.
Adrien felt a swift punch to his gut, left breathless. This couldn't be happening. Hawkmoth was gone. Marinette's memories were gone. Everything Adrien loved was gone. And he was left all alone. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed this story. If you did, let me know by leaving a comment below or even subscribing. Stay miraculous!